We're going to begin by looking at the colour wheel and reviewing colour theory. I don't want to hear you groan and say, oh no, not colour theory, because it's essential to your knowledge of colour mixing. And once you learn it and know it, you know it forever. So we're going to keep it as simple as possible, but you'll see the importance of colour theory throughout all the modules. Now the colour wheel is just a man-made diagram that lays out the colours of the spectrum in an orderly way so that we can recognise colour relationships. And we start with the primaries of yellow, red and blue, and they're called primaries because they can't be broken down anymore. And when put together, they're not harmonious. The next is the secondaries, and there's 3 of those, orange, violet and green. And they are a mix of the 2 primary colours, and they lie in between those 2. Next we have the tertiary colours, and they are a mix of a primary and its adjacent secondary colour. Can't be its opposing colour because that's a complementary colour and you get a different result. So it's always a primary and its adjacent secondary. So yellow and green, you get yellow, green, yellow and orange, yellow, orange, and so forth around. The colour wheel also indicates to us the warm and cool colours in the spectrum. So warm is just represented by things that we associate with warmth, like the sun and fire. So we have our yellows, oranges and reds. On the cool side, it's associated with water, ice and foliage. And this colour temperature is very important in your colour work and very relevant. Next we have the complementary colours, and they are very important, and they end up with a lesson on their own, so we can get a little bit more detail with those. But they are colours that are opposite your primary colour on the colour wheel. So violet is the complement of yellow and vice versa. Orange is the complement of blue, vice versa. And green is the complement of red, and vice versa. Also we have split complementaries. So a split complementary is the 2 colours that lie adjacent to the secondary complement of a primary. So for yellow, its complement is violet, so its split complements would be blue violet and red violet. And then another grouping we have is analogous colours, and they are 3 colours that lie together or adjacent to each other on the colour wheel, and they are harmonious colours. So if they're used in your drawing, they'll always be harmonious. So any 3 analogous colours.